The Yakuza franchise is pretty unique in a fair few regards. But maybe the area it does better than any other game, or at least anything with this much polish and presentation, is its city. In years past, I was tempted to compare Yakuza's world building to Western franchises such as Grand Theft Auto. The truth is, despite both being story-heavy third-person games about organized crime with clear influences from their cinematic brethren, Yakuza and GTA are very different in a whole lot of ways. Both franchises are aiming for something unalike, and well, yeah, I could sit here and compare and contrast for 15 to 20 minutes, but what makes Yakuza so special is the incredible focus. It's less concerned with Tokyo, Osaka, Hiroshima, or Nagoya, and more so with fictional versions of real-life districts. Most notably, its Kabukicho stand-in, Kamurocho. Virtual tourism is something video games often rely on. From the aforementioned Grand Theft Autos, fake Miami, LA, or New York City, to more fantastical settings such as Hyrule. Assassin's Creed is a franchise that has centered itself around such a historical slant, so much so that they even have a mode called Discovery Tour that they sell separately. Yakuza does the same, just on a much smaller scale that allows the developers to include an incredible amount of realistic detail. Now, Kamurocho is of course still a setting in a video game, and an incredibly goofy one at that. While the real-life Kabukicho has a reputation for being Tokyo's most dangerous or illicit district, relatively speaking, you're not likely to share the same highly exaggerated experience as Kiryu-Kazuma. That all obviously exists so that players have some video game to engage with. But if you're a weirdo like me, you might just wander about for hours, taking photos, bar hopping, or sitting down at a quiet izakaya. I've spoken to this before in some other videos, but I've long liked the notion of living in the sort of city environment where most of everything you need exists within walking distance. Confined in that small section of the urban expanse is a community made of countless individual lives weaving in and around each other that I can passively observe, fade away into, or carve out my own little place within. Though much of the time Yakuza is a series about these grand conspiracies destroying lives with high-octane set pieces, it also just lets you blend into the crowd. If you want, you can just play the game as a cabaret manager, real estate man, or coach a small baseball club, spending your free time bowling, going to the arcade, or futzing about. This aimless wandering and general mundanity is kinda what I need right now. I didn't boot up Kiwami 2 hot off the heels of finishing the first with the intention of having these hour-long walks in each of the respective cities. However, given how aimlessly walking around a very densely populated area is not such a hot idea these days, this little city simulator has given me a taste of what I miss. Even in my small city suburb, I long for the days where I went to the movies, then walked to the bar across the parking lot to have a burger and a beer or some wings. I miss going to the ritzy shopping district's bookstore. One of my favorite things about conventions isn't just what happens within the hall itself, but using it as an excuse to wander the city for a bit. And in Yakuza, I have found some small semblance of that. A little bit different video here today, as you might have noticed. Not necessarily something that will be common, just that every now and again I'd like to try to switch things up to some degree. If you want a better perspective as to why, then you can do so over at my Patreon. For $5 a video, you can get a behind-the-scenes commentary for each new work I put out. Or for $1 a month, you get access to some bonus posts, which are generally just stuff that doesn't make it into a video or onto my Twitter. Either way, your name will be in the credits here. And for anyone who's even just donated $1 for just 1 month, honestly, any amount of money really does help out, not just on a financial level, but also on a sort of emotional level, because it lets me know that what I'm doing is worthwhile, that people do enjoy it and think it's, worth their time and money, which says something. So again, thank you to all those folks.